Okie dokie, this is a blast from the past. Give you a clue. Okay, see what appears to be a red funnel. Well, that is not the original one. The original funnel is somewhere close to the Quays, as Quays, in Southampton, on the south coast of England. So that funnel is a fake. Why would that be? The rest of it is not a fake. The rest of it is, a vessel. But which one? Well, you may or may not remember that back in the day, I was on this vessel. And I remember I had a small it was just me, so I didn't really need much, so I just had a small cabin, which presumably would have been down the lower deck, or maybe the one above it, deck 7, deck 6, something like that. And I slept there for 5 nights, so 6 days, or 5.5 days I suppose, more like. And it went from Brooklyn in New York to Southampton. Now, when I'd taken the trip the other way, I'd gone from England to the USA, I'd flown on Concorde. And that flight had gone from Heathrow to Miami, but with a stop in Washington, D.C., where, we had a bit of special treatment, shall we say. And then from Washington, D.C. to Miami, it was not supersonic. Whereas from London to Washington, D.C., it was. That was my only time on Concorde. And of course, most people listening to this probably haven't been on Concorde. Maybe would have been had it not been discontinued in 2003. But there we go. So that was my trip from the UK to the US on Concorde, and coming back was from Brooklyn, New York to Southampton on this vessel. And my cabin was on this side, the right side, the starboard side, and I'm guessing was down there somewhere. I mean, it didn't really matter, I didn't care. Yes, I would have been on this, all, having food and whatnot, the normal stuff that one does on cruise ships. So it wasn't really a cruise, it was a transatlantic, so it wasn't stopping at a different place every day, which is not the sort of thing that appeals to me. But the transatlantics are going to be okay, the trans-Pacifics are going to be okay. But this was a transatlantic. So you've probably guessed it by now. But here we go. Queen Elizabeth II. Again, there, Queen Elizabeth II. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but just beyond it, can you see there's at least 2 cruise ships there? There may be more actually, but there's at least 2. And they've been stuck here since the 28th of February when the present problem started. And the passengers are also stuck on board, unless, I guess as the days go by, they may or may not have been able to get flights out. So if they're unable to get flights out, what's been happening is that people have been going to the airport. If they get a flight, great. If not, then they come back here. They come back to whichever ship it is. So there we go. Anyway, so this was my blast from the past. Oh, something else I want to say. Oh no, I'll do that in another video.